Shalawam Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalawam to let men out there doing this work of faith and labor of love, truth, sincerity. I just want to get into a quick topic, basically entitled Fortitude, strength of mind, because, as we know, in this truth, our lot, is to endure afflictions, endure temptations, endure hell. The conditions, the everyday conditions in which we face, and we know that the principle, a very strong principle of this truth, and our foundation has to be built off of the faith in Yahawah Shai. And with that faith, which means to trust, is basically strength. Having that strength of mind of what you truly believe in. And reaffirming that faith every single day, in every single moment, with every temptation, with every affliction, that you go through. And what does all this deal with? It deals with the mind and having, what is known as mental fortitude. All right. So, that's pretty much what I'm going to get into, with this lesson. So, with that, I want to start off with Luke chapter 22, verse 32. Start at verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Okay? And this is what Satan is desiring to do to all us brothers, And that's what the so-called white man is desiring to do unto all us brothers, to completely remove us out of the way of understanding, that he may continue his rule forever, but which we know is not the case. So, knowing that Satan is desiring to sift us, and when you look up the word sift, because the brother was just, speaking of this scripture unto me earlier, and getting into the word sift. And, when you look up the word, it basically says what? To sift, shake, and achieve, figuratively, by inward agitation, to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow. So that's what Satan is trying to do, constantly agitate us. Get at what? It said what? Figuratively, by inward agitation. What? That's mental, man. Mentally trying to try your faith to the verge of overthrow. Making you think weird thoughts, making, abominable thoughts come out of nowhere, But we got to have in mind that you have these demons that are trying to play upon our mind and try to project images in our mind, okay? But it's up to you whether you let that thought basically ferment within inside of your mind, and now that thought becomes a part of you and your actions. That's why YAHAWASHI said, basically you can commit adultery in your mind. Because if you're lusting after another man's woman, Satan projected that image within your head. You have the power to deny that thought, that projection that Satan put in your mind, or you have the ability and the power to let that formulate, and then you start thinking about sexing her and doing all types of things to her. Therefore, you've committed adultery in your mind. So this is what Satan tries to do, to try to get us out of the way of understanding, And it goes into, the scripture right here, James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, okay? For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, it bringeth forth death. Right? And that's getting into the example of which I just used of, Satan, projecting images within your mind, and now you taking that projection and you're allowing yourself, your mind, your conscience to be drawn away from your own lust. And Satan did that because Satan planted that seed within your mind, and now that will bring forth death unto you. Okay, so the Most High don't tempt you with evil. That's Satan's job, man. You know, but we gotta constantly, as I mentioned again, you gotta have that strength of mind. And when you go into the word temptation, okay, up here, you know, that's why the Most High said, YAHAWASHI said too, watch and pray, what, that ye enter not into temptation, you know, because the times in which we're facing them, we're heading for the greatest temptation that we've ever faced, man. You know, and that's what we're, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, which we're trying to build ourselves up to live up to that standard where we can overcome, you know, the times of Jacob's trouble, man. You know, which is going to be in denying the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, which will be our greatest trial of our faith, you know. So going into the word temptation, it says what? An experiment, attempt, trial, proving. The trial made of you by my bodily condition, since condition served as to test the love of the Galatians towards Paul, the trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy, okay, an enticement to sin, temptation, whether arising from the desires or from outward circumstances, an internal temptation to sin, of the temptation by which the devil sought to divert Yahawashi HaMashiach from his divine errand. And that's what when Satan came to Yahawashi up on the mountaintop, man, you know, of the condition of things or a mental state by which we are enticed to sin or to lapse from the faith and holiness. Adversity, affliction, trouble sent by the Most High and serving to test or prove one's character, faith, and holiness, man. Okay? So the main points was I wanted to bring out of here is, you know, is the fact that what the Most High, this is a trial of our what? Fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy, which I always get into the word virtue from the root word vir, which means to be a man, you know, to show yourself a man, you know, and what? In the condition, what? Of a mental state, you know, in which you're going to constantly go through ups and downs mentally, you know, but within these times we have to be strong. Now we have our ups and downs, you know, every single day, but it's what you do in the end. Are you putting up that fight? Or are you putting up them prayers? Because that's our strength is in our prayers unto the Most High, YAHAWASHI, man, you know, and praying for strength of mind that the Most High guides our thoughts, guides our steps every single step of the way. You know, the Most High is our fortress, man. So, real quick, this is Psalm 71:3. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Okay, because it's a continual process every day. How the scriptures say, what? You know, renew a righteous spirit within me. We have to ask for that every single day. We have to ask for the Lord to allow us to dwell within his habitation every single day, you know, by his spirit covering us, you know. Thou hast given commandment to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. All right. So the Most High is what? Our rock and our fortress. And the word fortress basically goes into the word strength, or, you know, to be strong, you know. So I just want to go into it real quick here. And the Hebrew word is matazawat, okay? And it says net, pray, fasting, stronghold. Let's see if there's anything further on this. All right. For a net or capture, also a fastness, castle, defense, fort, fortress, stronghold, okay? To be hunted, net, snare, strong place. So what? The Most High, he's our castle, he's our defense, our fortress, our stronghold, man. You know. So what? The Most High, his spirit covering us. He has a stronghold, a barrier over our minds. Going into the word fortitude, okay, which says what? Mental and emotional strength in the facing difficulty, adversity, danger, or temptation courageously, okay. And one more, another quick reference of the word fortitude. It says what? Courage in pain or adversity. Okay? Courage, bravery, endurance, resilience, mettle, backbone, spirit, grit. All right? So it just basically means what? The word strong. Okay, because the Most High has to be, as I said, that stronghold over our mind to keep us, from the evil times. Another quick word, just to look up: resilience. These words are key, man. The ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, elasticity. All right, so when we going through ups and downs within this truth, Satan trying to get you to think, constantly you're not a man of the Lord, this, that, and the third. You just going through different things mentally, but the point of the matter is what you got to be able to spring back into shape. You got to be able to bounce back from whatever Satan is implanting in your mind and trying to get you to go out of the way of understanding. You can't hesitate to lean back upon your foundation of these scriptures and go back to the basics so the Most High can build you back up. Because constantly when we're in this truth, the Most High is breaking us down to build us back up. It's like building a wall. How the scriptures say, I got it up here. This is Luke 14:28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and count up the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest haply after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish, and all that began, behold, to begin to mock him. Okay, so what in its truth, the Most High is helping us to build up that strength of mind. Okay, to have that fortitude, for him to be our fortress. Like a quick example, if brothers have ever watched the movie Village of the Damned, the original one was in 1960, but they had one in 1995. And towards the end of the movie, Christopher Reeves is in the movie, and you have these children there in the classroom with Christopher Reeves, and he's the teacher.
David.
No.
Now, these children, they're damned. They're supposed to be like Satan's children or whatever. They have the power to read minds. So what Christopher Reeves is trying to do, he has an image of a wall within inside his mind. And they show the image, and the children will say, why are you trying to hide your thoughts unto us? So he's holding up that strength of mind so they can't break through his thoughts. But, these kids, they're, homing in, with their eyes and with their mental power to try to break down a wall. So that's the same way how it is with us. We're trying to build up our fortress within our mind, and that's the spirit of faith within YAHAWASHI. But along as we're building ourselves up, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, certain bricks or certain things are going to be out of order. Therefore, what the Most High has to knock it back down a little bit in order to build it back up into perfection. So when you constantly going through things in this truth, you're going to be built up to a degree. Then you're going to get broken down, but then what you're going to build back stronger on top of that. That's why we have to go through things within this truth to be built up for these times that are facing us, man. That we're going to be facing, So real quick, going back to this word resilience, the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, elasticity, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness. So, within these times, we don't have time to sit and, wallow, in a depressed state. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to bounce back quickly, to recover quickly, man. And even though sometimes you may want to sit and wallow and think about, what you went through or the things that the Most High is putting you through, so that you can have more understanding, so you can be built up. But you can't just sit around and just be in a completely depressed spirit and just taking yourself out of the spirit, man. You got to bounce back from that quickly, That's why, the scriptures say this, and I'm going to close out, with this scripture. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 22. Let us draw near with a true heart. What? A sure heart, man. A sure assurance of mind and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. So let's just look up this word assurance real quick right here, see if it's anything significant within its definition. All right, it says assurance, full assurance, most certain confidence, okay, entire confidence, full assurance, okay,